Hey y'all, how are you doing? I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. It's me, Kim, and I'm back for another video. So I'm still trapped in the house because of COVID-19, and you probably are too. Okay, we're in this together. And this period has been so interesting because I've been very productive, strangely productive, but I'm just trying to take my mind off things. But I've also been very self-reflective and in having to do my own hair because I can't go to the salon, a lot of feelings and emotions and like trauma has been dredged up. And I decided to go on Instagram Live to kind of work through it. And that Instagram Live turned out to be probably the best one I've ever done because y'all chimed in and we had conversations and we had the kind of really honest conversation about hair texture and beauty and femininity and features. More honest than I think I've ever seen on here, on YouTube, anywhere, to be honest. And so I didn't want to hide it. I wanted to share it with as many people as possible. So I decided to make it into a real video. So here it is. Okay, so I'm doing my own hair. We have a new hairstyle on today because I'm doing my own hair right now. And it literally sucks. It sucks so bad. Y'all do your own hair all the time? I don't know how y'all do it. Because as soon as this coronavirus is over, I will not be doing my own hair ever again. I do not enjoy it. It's horrible. But I made a whole video about this. It's up on Patreon, the whole process of me doing my first hairstyle last week. And I realized I had a weird, like a crazy epiphany moment in a way that I have not had an epiphany in a long time about how one of the reasons why I disliked the process of doing my own hair so much and how I cannot wait for us to be off lockdown is because I have these ideas about what presentable hair is supposed to look like. And I have those ideas because I have 4C hair, even though now, ever since I've gotten older and I do stuff to my hair, maybe it's like 4B, but definitely when I was growing up, it was 4C. And so if you have very tightly coiled, kinky hair, then not only do you have to deal with, the normal Black woman stuff, but you also have to deal with all of these ideas about what presentable hair looks like. And we get all of these messages about controlling your hair and taming it. And also, I'll just be honest with you, it takes time. It does take time. And I don't care what y'all say. People are always trying to tell me, oh, it doesn't take more time. You just think in your mind that it takes more time. Yes, it does take more time. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. So while I was going through the process of doing my own hair, and last week I had the perm rod set, I really had like a borderline emotional breakdown about the fact that I've not yet unraveled all of the ideas that I have about my hair and presentability and attractiveness. And I have these conversations with Black women, and I'm really fortunate to be in community and with Black women and read the books. But I still myself am working through ideas about what my hair needs to look like. But also, and this is another thing, it's because like as a Black woman who looks like this, who has these features, who has kinky hair, it's like I have internalized the idea that like I have to be exceptionally feminine and exceptionally put together and like really always try to look like the best because I understand that I'm going to be judged a different way. And that is the reality, right? Like, I'm not here to try to like pretend like that shit is not real. But I also have to think about freedom. Like, I want to be free. Can I acknowledge what the reality is and still not feel burdened all the time by the expectation that I'm always trying to like overcompensate for what other people's ideas of attractiveness and beauty are? Anyways, that's just what's on my mind today. I love a deep conversation. Let's see. I'm good. Hi. Y'all playing. Stop playing on my phone. Stop playing on my phone. Okay. Back when working in an office at a financial company, the majority of Black women coworkers wear straight hair. It's a thing. I mean, it's absolutely a thing. And the thing, sorry, my vagina. Sorry, y'all are about to see. I keep forgetting that I do not wear pants. Okay, so, okay, let me just move forward, or let's just, okay. So, I tried not to flash you guys, but I'm not wearing pants in my home. I'm not getting out here and putting pants on in my home. Sorry. Okay. So, I was gonna say somebody talked about people in their workplace leaving, wearing straight hair. It's like even I feel different wearing straight hair, and also I feel sometimes, Oprah really triggered this in me. Like Oprah now wears like straight hair and it has so much volume and like she'll wear the ponytail and the ponytail is swinging. I'll see Oprah and I'm like, I have straight hair envy. Like I want a swinging ponytail. Like I want my hair to be like voluminous and like just swingy and like flowing in the breeze. Or, I want to put the Beyonce fan on and my hair be blowing in the fake wind. And it's like, is there a way? Is there a way for me to say, oh, that looks like a cute hairstyle? Can I divorce that from, oh, you know what I could do? I could just lower this. Can I divorce that from the ideas, the internalized ideas of attractiveness we have, like beauty? You can't. Anyways. Oprah's hair is properly tended to. It definitely looks very healthy. Another person.
Let me
Hi.
get myself together. I wasn't ready. Hi, I'm such a huge fan.
Hi. Is there anything you wanted to say, add to the conversation?
Absolutely. So I am a natural 4C. I refuse to take down my knotless braids because I just don't feel like dealing with having to like fight with hair when I'm not going anywhere anyway. And I feel like everything you said was completely true. We have been super conditioned to feel like straight hair is prettier. I I feel the world respond to me differently when I wear straight hair. And I consciously like have made the decision that even if it is straight, like I want it to be kinky straight so that I can just like not even fully buy into like the whole Brazilian part of it. I like weave and I like, switching it up. It's fun, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm an artist. It makes me feel like I just have some control over this world. But for sure, like I don't work in a corporate setting, but I have friends that have had to negotiate how seriously they wanted to be taken by their company by sorry, I got a call. I just think it's the saddest thing. And it's just, I don't know, it's not something that I'm personally willing to yield to, but I definitely feel the world respond differently to me when my hair is straight.
Yeah, and also I think that like we can resist, right? And like I try to resist kind of, but you're resisting and acknowledging that there are sacrifices, right? Like that there are trade-offs. And so
For sure.
no, I don't want to wear straight Barbie hair. I don't like that look. Oh, sorry, no shade. Sorry. No, sorry, no shade. What I'm saying is I don't like the super super like straight like I don't know what wigs are made of. Like, but I
Hmm.
do like a kinky straight and it's like I understand that even the kinky straight is kind of a compromise for me. And it's like, I don't know,
I
maybe
feel it.
should I feel bad? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
I
I don't
I I have 4C hair, and for me, it's very difficult to manage. My hair is very very thick. Um, and for me, it's a lot to manage. I'm not shy about saying I don't care for my hair texture. I like to see it on other people. I don't like to deal with it, and I don't care who feel a way about it. I do not like my 4C hair.
Okay. I think we need to have this honest conversation, right? Because sometimes I say this and I get so much pushback. Like, it's not harder. It doesn't take more time. And I'm like, you
It
guys,
does.
I,
It absolutely does. And anybody who's saying that it doesn't is either doesn't have a head full of it or they just bold faced lying. But y'all not finna, like, people not finna hair shame me. If I don't like I get to not like something about myself. It doesn't mean I hate being black. Doesn't mean I hate being a black woman. I do not like my 4C texture. I deal with it. I still wear it sometimes. Every 5 seconds, I will blow it out just so I can like detangle it and properly trim my ends and all of that. So, I mean, I personally like the kinky straight. Like, I love when you said Oprah hair, it's beautiful.
it is
Oprah's hair
so
is oh my God, it's stunning. If I could walk around with Oprah's hair, but Oprah has admitted that she gets her hair washed every day, or at least while she
yeah,
was doing the show. She gets her hair shampooed and tended to every day. We don't know what type of gold dipped shampoo Oprah got over there. We not living the same life.
yeah.
We don't know what type of mineral water from Fiji she done flew in to wash that hair in. Like, I'm not going there. I can't compare my hair to Oprah. If I had Oprah's income, more than willing to play that type of game. But I'm gonna stick to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to, and I'm not getting involved with this 4C hair with nowhere to go. Absolutely not. So these braids staying in. I don't care who feel a way about it, and I'm gonna be bouncing and behaving when this is all said and done.
Yeah. No, I feel that deeply, and I'm like deeply envious of people who can make that choice. When like
You
I
have
tweet.
beautiful hair, by the way.
Thank you, but I mean, make that choice as in like not do anything to it, because even like getting to this was like horrifying, and this is an easy style. And so when I tweeted about it, people were like, well, nobody's gonna see you until we come off quarantine anyway. And it's like, no, I'm actually on camera all the time. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people see me all the time, and so I don't even get the
Get into
option.
the wigs though. And that's the thing that frees me up. I really like hot yoga. So when I try to work out, like, don't try to be a natural girl and be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because when you add sweat to the edges, honey, it's over with. Cancel the rest of the day.
Yeah.
You can't have it all. So for me, the way I try to keep it cute, inside and out, on top and the body wise, is go ahead and get you some braids or a wig.
Yeah.
And you can do that with like a U-part wig, or a half wig, so you can like leave out your edges, but you gotta have edges to play that game. So
Yeah.
I mean, you it's a struggle coming and going, but I totally understand. I'm an actor, so I mean, I be on camera. I get it. I get your struggle. Your videos are great. I watch them. And you do a really good job with it. But getting ready to do the video sometimes will take just as much time, if not more, than to do the video itself.
Yeah.
And you got to pick your battles, especially if you want to try to work out on top of this. But girl, don't let it stress you out, because more than likely, like, not to limit you, but your fan base is probably us, and we get it. And
Yeah.
while we're here for the looks, we're here for the makeup, you got gorgeous skin, we're here for all of it. I'm here for a full edge line. But I'm forgiving because I get it.
Yes. I mean, you are forgiving, and I think the core people are forgiving, but I also think that, like, I know that it gets outside of that, and I have also gotten some really crazy comments about that. But thank you so much.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate this brutal honesty. I appreciate I appreciate it, because I feel like we're incentivized to lie. People want us to lie and
Well,
say
yeah,
it's
because the natural hair community wants everybody to embrace it and like have your fist up. And I ain't got time for that. I got things to do today, and hair cannot be the only thing on the agenda. So I'll
yeah.
meet y'all.
Okay, great.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
You too.
You guys make me feel so much better, okay? Because it took me to get that perm rod set. It took 4 days. It took 4 days. Do you have 4 days to do your hair? Do you have 4 days to do your hair? I don't have a desire to do my hair over 4 days. I don't want to do it. I don't even really have a desire to sit down and do it for 2 hours. So what are we gonna? Okay. I wonder if the featureism we see within the Black community is more due to society upholding whiteness or the internalized feelings that what is not Black is more beautiful. I think it's both. Are the expensive prices for natural hair products a scam or justified? Um, I don't know. Honestly, I only use products that are sent to me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to cover my hips right now. I only use products that are sent to me, so I don't really pay money for them. But I don't know. Some people say that they're scam. Okay, next person.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Sorry, I look kind of messy. I just woke up, so it's like 12:30 in Toronto and I just got up. But what I wanted to say was I grew up like a lot of Black girls do, getting my hair straightened every week and dealing with that whole kind of mess. And my feeling is that a lot of us have this kind of negative association with our hair, of people telling us it's too thick and ripping combs through it, detangling it and stuff. And for me, my natural hair journey was so healing for me of a thing to go through, like to realize this thing about me is not broken. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm wondering.
Um,
Go ahead.
so okay, so I have questions about this. So,
Mhm.
like, was it did you what caused you to kind of go on that journey? Was it YouTube? Was it Instagram? Was it just something inside yourself?
My mom went natural. Sorry, I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting a little bit of anxiety, but I'm going to put the phone down for a second. But my mom went natural when I was 18 or 19, and I was very negative towards her about it. I kind of called her fuzzhead and all of this rude stuff. Yeah. But watching her watch natural hair videos and taking this time to learn her journey after she was one of the people who had said a lot of negative things to me about my own hair was also
Mm,
encouraging me
interesting.
to want to learn about it.
Yeah.
She actually showed me KimmyTube on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw her grow her hair long and kind of take that time to detangle it and stuff. And that really made me feel, again, like this thing that I'd been told that was broken and that was damaged and that couldn't grow long. It made me feel like it was something worth pursuing, and it became a huge part of me learning to love myself as a Black person.
Yeah. What caused your mom's feelings to change? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I do know that she'd been relaxing for a long time, and she'd also gone on kind of like a healthy lifestyle journey. And she realized that, like, from relaxing for so long, her hair at the back was starting to go bald. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
And her hairdresser she'd been going to for years never told her that her hair was going bald. And I think one day she had planned to like grow it out or take some time off relaxing altogether. And he went there when she was going to just get her hair like trimmed, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know how to deal with all of this hair." And he cut all of her permed hair off. So it wasn't even a decision that she made after.
Ooh.
Exactly. So after that, she was like, "I'm just gonna go natural because all of it's gone anyway."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing.
Mm.
I appreciate how freeing so many Black women find it. I have
Exactly.
not found it freeing. I'm still trying to get to that place, but thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Do you mind if I ask, actually?
Yeah.
What's your journey with your natural hair been like? I don't know if I missed part of the video.
Oh, well, honestly, I stopped perming, but I am lazy. The thing is,
Me too,
I've
sis. I'm
always
so
been
lazy.
so lazy about my hair. So just even after perms were no longer a thing, but then immediately started to do weaves and wigs because the maintenance
Mhm.
of taking care of my hair just felt like so much work. I don't want to do that work. I don't.
It is a lot of work in the beginning, and one thing that I do want to say is that like when I'm doing my hair, because like even when I've been natural now for like 10 years, even now when you've gotten used to it, it's still like a huge like arduous process. So I put on natural hair videos and I watch them while I'm doing my hair to kind of motivate myself. But like I
Yeah.
have a kid now, I run a business, I don't have a lot of time to devote to it. And in Toronto where I am, it's freezing cold in the winter. And no matter what I do with my hair, it breaks off in the cold. I tell myself, you know what? I don't have to like feel guilty about this. braid my hair out, put it in a wig, and I don't look at it until it's warm outside. Like,
Yeah.
you can be
Yeah.
natural and still do that. You know what I mean? You don't have to feel
Yeah.
guilty.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good
No
day.
problem. Me too. Bye
I think that may contribute to the time it takes to do your hair. I'm a lazy natural as well, and it takes me a while. It's not work. Think of it as how much care you're giving your hair. Girl, care is work. Okay. You guys. Okay, so I am a person who, when I decided to stop wearing wigs 18 months ago, then I became a person who like really diligently went to the hair braider, and then I became a person who really diligently went to a hairdresser, because I would rather pay somebody to do that work, right? Because it's a valuable service, than me, who is impatient and doesn't really know all of the ins and outs of it to do it. So I do think that like it's legitimate to call it work, especially if we're willing to pay somebody a lot of money to do it, as I have been. All right. Princess, back again. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon or morning, wherever you are. Um, this is such an interesting topic because I'm going through the process now of combing out my locks because I want to have like my natural 4C curls out again. And I'm very nervous because I know I'm going to hate it for a little while, like just going from having like fairly long hair to having like a fairly sized afro. But my hair relationship is a little bit different because I've never had a perm. My mom did not want me to perm my hair when I was a kid, and like my father what had locks and my mom was bald and then she got locks later on in life. So I just never had a perm. And so I always had braids, and I was always getting teased by like other black kids for having like doo-doo braids or like having like a very texturized hair. And even when I went to go get a blowout before, like, because my mom would let me get a blowout, but she wouldn't let me like perm it or anything. They'd be like, well, your hair is too big. It shouldn't be out like that. And so I felt like so much shame from like other black people about like my texture. And then if I would go get my hair braided, the braiders would be mad at me because my hair was so thick. And so it'd be like, $300 to get my hair braided. And like, I remember one time it was like a Haitian woman and she was like talking shit about me in Creole about my hair. She didn't know I knew what she was saying, but I was hearing her say these things about my texture. Meanwhile, she has no hair around the rim of her head, but she has all these things to say about like how my hair is too thick and like, oh, you can go get a perm and you could still have all of this stuff. So it was like, as soon as I turned like 19, I locked my hair because I'm also lazy. I didn't feel like always having to do like I couldn't even do a wrap. I was like, I don't even know how to do any of that.
Oh my God, wraps? Yeah, it's a
I was
lot.
like, it was too much work. I was like, I can't. So like, I had locks, and it was super, super easy because I would like do my hair once a month. I would like just throw it in a bandana. And the reason why I wanted to change it is just because like I now will watch all these videos of like natural 4C hair, and I'm like, I do want to be able to like mix it up because I think with locks
Yeah.
there's like a limit to how much you can actually like do versatile wise, and like if you do your hair too often you will lose like part of your hairline. So like I really just want to like enjoy that for maybe just even like 2 years, and then I'll probably lock it again because I probably won't want to do my hair every week for like infinite time. But I just feel like it's the thing of like, it's the time. It's also just not feeling supported. And also, like, the Oprah thing is so interesting because when I was growing up, like, when I would see like black girls with like their hair out in natural curls, they were always like mixed women. So like their hair always fell differently. And so like you
Yep.
compare your texture to like someone who's not even black on both sides or like has that kind of consistency. And you're like, well, why doesn't my hair do that? Why don't I get to have the like little curls? It's like, so we don't even have that representation a lot of times to know like what actual like 4C curl out looks like.
I've been trying to be intentional about following women with 4C hair on Instagram, because I also think that like on Instagram, it's the same kind of marketplace where women with curly or textured hair. And even if you do have darker skin, you have a different kind of textured hair than I have, or you have different features than I have. So I've been trying to be very intentional about seeking out women who have features that reflect what I have. But you notice that they have smaller followings or whatever. But the other thing I was going to say, something that you mentioned was like the kind of criticism that you get from other Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever called in earlier was saying, well, Black women are your primary audience, so they'll understand. And like, what I really didn't say was like, the people who judge me the absolute most are Black women. Like, the people who say like the worst and like harshest comments are Black women. And like, that is true now, and it has been true, like throughout my life. And as supported as you can feel from Black women, it's also the opposite. And like, another part of that is, it's like in college, I would never care about how my hair was looking or if I was ashy or whatever until I encountered another Black person. Like, you can sit in a room full of white folks and like, you don't care if your ankles are ashy and you don't care if your hair is looking crazy, because they don't know what the standard is. They don't know like what is expected in our culture. But then when you're walking down the street and your hair is looking crazy, or your elbows are ashy, or you're out at Walmart and you see make eye contact with another Black person, I can't speak for everybody, but I will immediately feel a kind of shame, because I know that like our culture says that this is not appropriate, that I should be ashamed. And it's like, how can I balance that? I don't know. I know.
I don't think that you often can, because and like you said in like another video about Black womanhood, it's like we're always being held to a standard that we didn't set for ourselves, but we feel weird if we go past it. So it's like, I would love, like, even now I had to teach myself, like, okay, if my hair isn't done, I'm still going to go outside, like, with a bonnet on or with a hat on. Like, I'm not going to, like, just keep pulling my edges back so it looks laid, because, like, who am I doing that for? I'm going to the grocery store. I'm, like, going to the Dollar Tree. Like, I'm not going to, like, put on brows and lashes to, like, go to the Dollar Tree. So, like, we do need to be kinder to ourselves. But it's work and it's hard and it's not always fun. Like, I hate my hair a lot of the time. And, like, I don't see why not. I'm sure white people hate their hair too, so why shouldn't we?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I've ever really encountered Black women saying that they hate their hair, like, in this kind of way. Maybe in private, but I am really surprised that multiple people have said that. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying I hate my hair, but I really dislike. It's really not a fun time. It's not a fun time. I don't feel great. I'm trying to skip out on FaceTime dates right now because I'm catfish. Okay. Like, I do not feel like my best self.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to be ashamed to say that.
Yeah. And I love my hair sometimes, but there are times like right now when I'm combing this thing out, I'm like, why are you so naughty? Why are you like this? Like, why couldn't you just not be doing this to me? So like, it's a back and forth, but like, I think it's important. And thanks for starting the conversation. This was really cool.
Thank you. Have a good day. Okay. This is so good, you guys. My mind is so blown by how smart and thoughtful you guys are. Gosh, I'm so lucky.
I'm good, thanks. As you can see, I'm bald. I cut my hair mainly because it was receding. It was because of like someone did my hair and they did not take care. So I had these really like thin micro blades that just took like a side of my edges just away. And I was like, you know what? I'm cutting it. I don't want to have to deal with this. And the sad thing was that I was probably in the best place in terms of the texture of my hair. Like my natural hair was doing so well in the rest of my head. But and I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to cut it. And so that's where I am. And I found myself resenting that I have had, because I'm not somebody, I hear everyone talking about big, thick hair and it's just all too much. I'm not somebody who ever had thick hair. Like I come from a family that notoriously has, even though at times some people might have long hair, it's not thick and big. Mm-hmm. And I've always wondered like what it's like to have this so hard to manage hair because it's so big and like my hairline is just always full and it's so thick. And yeah, I'm just so envious of that. Like even though I want to grow my hair and have it natural, there's things that I know I can't do. Like my dreadlocks, I tried having dreadlocks, they look flat as F. It's just,
Yeah.
it was fun. And you know, when you talk about Oprah and like how she, you know, is straight and everything. It's like she can afford to have that, yes, because you know she's got the money and the resources, but also because she's had hair all this time. I've never seen Oprah with natural hair. I don't know if she relaxes it, but I know she straightens it.
Mhm.
She could like she has the kind of texture that can afford to go through heat on a daily or weekly basis and still grow and still look healthy.
Right.
And I'm never gonna know. I found myself being so grateful that my boyfriend has thick hair because I can imagine having kids who have thick. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm laughing because like this is legitimate. This is so real.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I don't mind. I love natural hair. I wish it was like I wish I had strong big hair because I love my curl pattern. I love how it grows. I love everything about it except for the fact that it simply is not resistant enough.
Yeah.
And the thing about natural hair is that it doesn't necessarily protect your hair, like having natural hair and constantly exposing it to like different treatments and protective hairstyles. And it's not necessarily good for your hair. So I found myself going bald. We can talk about other privileges about why I'm able to be bald.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found myself kind of just going there.
I think you made so many good points. So one, I expect to have less hair coming out of this than I did going into it, despite the fact that it's going to be natural or whatever, because I don't think that having my hair out all the time is going to be good for my hair. I don't think it's going to be good at all. The manipulation, the accidentally falling asleep on cotton and it rubbing up against the cotton and breaking, like it's not. This is just where I am. But also, you made a really good point about our natural hair ideals. So even if, you know, we're celebrating you went natural, and if you have 4C hair, like we're not necessarily on the natural hair pages. They're only gonna showcase the super big afro and like super full and voluminous. But everybody, if I grow I don't know what my afro would look like if I grew it out like that. There's a chance where you could be able to still see through it. Like it's still like,
exactly. It's like kind of puff it every 30 minutes just to like that.
Yeah. So anyways, good points. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Natural hair doesn't mean less care. Learning how to take care of the hair on your head is just as important. I agree. Look, I'm saying what I'm going to say is I think this time where I'm forced to deal with my hair and figure out the moisturizers and figure out a wash routine, I think that it's important. I think that, you know, a fundamental part of good hygiene is being able to take care of your own hair. I get it. I acknowledge it. I've made peace with it. The process of finding what works and what doesn't is not fun for me. The process of doing it is not fun for me. And also, let me just say that as a lazy person, I was lazy when my hair was relaxed. I had problems with my relaxed hair because I was lazy. So another person.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So first of all, listen, every morning my boyfriend has been waking up looking like, oh sis, you still with the same edges? So anyway, I think that I understand what you're saying. I don't have 4C hair, I don't think. It's like a mix of stuff, and I don't even know because it's highly manipulated when it is done. So I really don't know what type of hair I have. But it's very fine, regardless of what type of hair it is. It's very fine. And I found myself, I've been natural for probably 20 years. And despite all of the YouTube journeys that say, oh, you should have hair to your navel by now, that's not the case.
Right.
You know, regardless of how long you've been natural. But it's been such a long journey, and my hair is still the same. It still stops around my shoulder, has been for the past 20 years or so. And I was finding myself like popping all the pills. I'm not gonna name none of them brands, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All the biotin popping all the pills, getting acne because that shit is, I'm so sorry, that stuff is highly concentrated. And so I finally went to a natural hairstylist, and she was like, sis, how does your mother's hair grow? And that was it. Like, that was such an epiphany. She was like, all these problem areas you have are hella hereditary. Like, this is not something you're really going to take a supplement and be able to escape. And so, like, yeah, there are some things you can do to preserve your hair. But a lot of this stuff, you can't change your DNA through supplement. And so that was a big wake-up call for me.
This is so important because the idea that I have been internalizing, and I do see people peddling it, is if your hair is not down your back, then you're doing something wrong.
Yep.
Right? So, like, don't blame genetics. Like, black women can grow hair too. And I'm like, yes,
hashtag length check.
Yes.
Hashtag shrinkage is real.
Yes. And it's like,
also, just hashtag my granny has short hair too.
Right. And it's like, yes, black women can grow hair. Some black women can grow hair down their back and have it super, super long. But are all black women going to be able to do that? And we have to be really honest about if that should be an ideal for all black women.
Exactly. But those are the views that have high views. Those are the videos with the real high views.
Yeah.
How can I get here? How can I do? Sis, a lot of these supplements are waist trainers in pill form. Just being real. They are. Like, I'm tired of just, all I'm purchasing is very expensive pee. That's all it is. My hair has not changed as a result of any of these pills, any of these gummies. You know, I'm still trying to, like, work on tying my hair down. I 1000% agree with you that at the end of all of this corona stuff, my hair is actually going to be more damaged because I don't have somebody else taking care of it. It is just out. I don't know how to do very much to it. I'm going to try to do crochet braids this week. Girl, pray for us all. But it's just, the other thing I was going to say is I feel like there's some shame attached, whether they're scams or not. I love the look of the natural extensions. I love those looks. But one of the comments that I put in when the video first started was also that as far as like texturism goes, yeah, they sell like super kinky hair, and I love those looks, but let's just be real. You can buy a 3A curly bob, but ain't nobody buying no bob for the super kinky hair. So if you're gonna buy that bob, it better be big and voluminous and look like, damn, like that's super thick, super big. Nobody wants to do a twist out that you can't achieve with this. So I love those looks, but I'm still like telling myself the truth about the fact that even though we have this option, for changing our hair, it still plays into a lot of the texturism that.
And can I be honest? I'll be honest. One of the reasons why I probably would not buy the super, super kinky hair textures, or coily, I should say, is because I'm not buying hair to put as much effort into my weave as I do my own hair. I'm not doing it. And I understand that plays into all of the I'm problematic.
Oh, girl.
I get it. But at the same time, I have to do what's best for me.
Yes. I'll be like, Brazilian curly, add to cart. Okay.
Yes.
So that's all I had.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Good to see you.
You too.
All right. I also wanted to say that I think it's so great that Black women have been able to take back the hair care industry in a meaningful way. I think it is so great that we have so many Black woman-owned hair care businesses. But I think that if you really look into it, one of the common denominators of a lot of those Black women-owned hair care businesses is they have naturally long, thick hair. And so we're going to navigate to the women who can be the faces of their product, who have naturally long, thick hair. And they're telling us, well, this is how you get my naturally long, thick hair. But sis, you've had naturally long, thick hair since you were 6. So what are you actually selling me? Now, I have no problem supporting another Black woman. I'd rather give you my money than to give somebody else my money. But there is an inability to manage expectations, even when it comes to other Black women. And I went in on Kendra Moore. I went in on Kendra Moore because I do feel like Yeah, that's her. Kenya Moore, not Kendra. I was like, I'm getting the name wrong. Kenya Moore, because I do feel like a big part of her hair care line and what she is trying to sell people is genetics. Stop trying to sell Black women genetics. Don't do that. Because that's another way to prey on our insecurities and another way to prey on our socialization. Oh. Next person. Hi.
Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just have a few things to say. With regards to texturism, I don't know if I'm 4C, and this is a discussion a lot of South African women are having where we're like, our hair is not considered 4C. It might be much tighter, but I think my issue is also length and that being attached to, um, femininity and like, oh, okay, so if you're a woman, your hair needs to grow long and this, that, and the other. And that's like been my struggle. Ever since lockdown, it's been a struggle for me. I had to buy a hair dryer so I can do my own hair. It's been a mission. Yesterday, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get pretty and take some selfies. I blow dried my hair, then it shrunk, and I just didn't feel as confident as I did when I started. And it was just like, I don't feel as pretty. I feel like I look like a mom. And like, there's just a lot of issues around hair. So I'm wearing a wig now because I don't know who's going to be watching this, but I don't think I could show up here with my own hair because it's not long.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot. I mean, in terms of natural hair, there's this, like you have stated, that there's a standard. And I'm just thinking about one of your videos where you said that, beauty is a bad investment. And you were talking about how, as a woman, you don't really have a choice. You have to participate in beauty ideals because it's like projected onto you. And I think that's like just a struggle I'm facing where it's just like, I like my hair, but at the same time, there's also unsolicited opinions where people are like, oh, how long is your hair now? And so on. So yeah, that's just basically been my struggle with my hair.
I think you hit on so many things. I mean, after I did, the little perm rod set, I was like, I look like my mom. I look like my own mother. Also because we have the same face, but it's like, you don't want to look like your mom, okay?
No, not at all.
Was like, I love her and I appreciate it, but I'm still trying to look like young and cute and cool. And so I think that people have been saying like the hair and femininity conversation is really important because I understand that Black women have all of this stuff tied up in our femininity and the way that it's been stripped, and we've not had access to it in the way that women of other races had because we've been, the mules or whatever, the workhorses. However, what is femininity to us? What does it mean to be feminine? What does it mean to be womanly? And if we are attaching femininity to something that we can't control, like Shafante before was saying, I don't believe that I'm ever, no matter if I took care of my hair perfectly, that it was ever going to be to my butt. I do not ever believe that.
No. I don't think mine's even going to reach my shoulders. So
right. And so if our ideal of femininity, if we can only be feminine, if we have hair that reaches shoulders or reaches mid-back, then what you are saying to a lot of Black women is you can never be that, even as a Black woman, even if we create our own ideals. And so it's like, how are we just have to teach ourselves new stuff. Like, let's not inadvertently put more shackles on Black women in trying to do something good for Black women. And I think that's what a lot of us get caught up in.
Yeah, and the problem with the natural hair community is talking about like the presentation of the hair as opposed to it being well taken care of. I think what I appreciate about my hairdresser is that she's never like tried to be like, okay, we need to grow your hair longer. She's always suggested ways in which that I can improve. And the one way is like, she said, I must buy my own shampoo to bring to the salon that's in line with the hair products that I'm using so that it's consistent and that it's, growing. And I did that. And she said my hair had improved much more. And like when she was combing it out, I wasn't losing hair and so on. So I think we also need thoughtful hairdressers and thoughtful people in the natural hair community who are talking about taking care of your hair, not presenting your hair a certain way. Because I know whenever I get my hair blown out, I come home and I do bantu knots so that it's a pretty afro and that it looks nice. I would never go to work with my natural 4C. Like, people would be like, oh, okay, Sarafina type of thing, or just make really weird remarks. And you don't want to subject yourself to that. Like, people will give you unsolicited opinions about your hair all the time. Why?
Right. I feel like people feel entitled, particularly entitled to Black women's bodies, our hairs, our bodies, our self-presentation, our clothes. And that shows up in like hair. And then we get all of this like hair stuff in these complexes. And then when you express, oh, I kind of have a complex about this, then it's like, why are you so insecure? You need to love yourself. Yeah.
It's just speaking about loving yourself. I'm thinking about what Gabrielle Union said in one of her in that book, We're Gonna Need More Wine. And she was talking about dark skin though. And, you know, she was saying people would say the same thing, love yourself. And she was like, you cannot self-esteem your way out of the judgment of the world. So you can get up every day, say those affirmations, take care of your hair. But when you walk out, because of the body you occupy, people are going to make some kind of opinion. People are going to treat you according to that space that you occupy. And whether you like yourself or not, it won't stop them.
Yep.
And that's the problem, like the entitlement of our society and the people around us.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, you guys, I have such a smart audience. You guys are so smart and thoughtful. It makes me emotional.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I just wanted to talk about, like, a lot of times we talk about the health of our hair, and like kind of the metric that we use to judge the health of our hair is the way that it feels and the way that it looks. And we expect it to be a certain softness, and we expect it to be a certain luster that a lot of us just don't have because the texture of our hair is different. So
yeah, I think
huge.
that, yes, the shiny hair thing. The shiny hair thing. So
or like your twists are so moisturized type of thing.
Yes. And it's so much like, you know, like a lot of us do not naturally have, or it's like, do you remember a couple of months ago where H&M had that, there's like a little Black girl and she was in the ad and people were like,
and everyone was saying that her hair didn't look taken care of.
Yes.
And I don't think it necessarily looked unkempt. I just think it didn't look particularly sleek. But I don't think that should be required of children anyway, so...
Right. And so we attach, like, sleekness and shine and, like, perfect parts and perfect edges and baby hairs and all of that to health,
the health
which
of
is
the
wrong.
Hair and, like, how well you're taking care of it.
Right. And, like, we made this stuff up.
Right. This is us.
Yeah.
This didn't come from white people. Like, this is entirely made up by us in our community. And that's, like, even more painful, I think.
Yeah. I think that makes it particularly difficult for us to shake off because we can't just be like, oh, white folks being crazy again. Yeah, totally. Right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day. Okay. One more.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I think a lot of this that we're talking about in terms of texturism and featurism is absolutely tied to these ideas around respectability and whose sense of presentation is worth honoring and who we deem worthy and who we deem unworthy. Who do we want to kind of represent this face of Black womanhood and who we don't? And I think that has circulated throughout our community for centuries. Who do we want to be the face and who we don't? Whose hair is presentable? Whose skin tone is presentable? Who speak right? Who speaks correctly? Who walks correctly? Who dresses correctly? It's all tied. As you can see, my hair does not go all the way down my back, and I'm fine with that. I've kind of released this whole idea around having long hair because that's not important to me. But I do understand for some facets of our community, hair is tied to a lot of things. But I think it goes back to respectability and what that means for a lot of people. And I think that we have to kind of revisit the dangers that respectability
Yeah.
politics has, and how it's also tied to the politics of shame and how problematic that
Yeah.
is.
Yes, this is such a
Yeah.
good point, because a part of it is like, or I feel this way. It's like,
Mhm.
are you really going to go out like that? I feel, because I mean, I'm not going out, right? But now I'm like, asking myself, like, Kim, are you really going to go on camera like that? Like, don't,
Mhm.
because you've been taught, like, you have a responsibility to look your best and present and
Mhm.
be a good representation, not just to white folks, but also to other Black folks, to be in community with
Mhm.
them. It creates so much pressure. And, I do want to make it a point to say that I understand everything about Black hair is not trauma. It's not trauma. It's not a burden. It's not oppression. But it's complicated, because as wonderful as it is, that the way that we take care of our hair and these hairstyles and the way that we commune around our hair,
Mhm.
it can also be a
Mhm.
burden if you feel like you can't live up to some of those standards. And that is like where the respectability stuff comes
Mhm.
in. I completely agree with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And
Oh,
then
keep
also
going.
the judgment, I'm sorry, and then the judgment that comes around for women who are more creative and expressive around their hair, and the judgment that comes around that, right? For those who are a little bit more free in their being, and those who may be a little bit more artistic, and how we render them and those bodies as unworthy and ghetto and ratchet. And
Right.
that's not necessarily the case, right? As if their freedom of expression isn't worth hearing, and
Mm-hmm.
also as if that there isn't wisdom there, and that those women don't also possess something that we need to hear, and that their methods of survival and that their methods of standing out don't also possess validity. So I just
Yes,
wanted to add
yes.
that this is a really interesting conversation. So thank you for hosting
Totally.
this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's also, for me, it's like also about, when I'm thinking about what I want my hair to be and what it looks like, it's also about what kind of Black woman do you want to be? So, like, exactly like you said, like, we
Hmm.
have, ratchet Black women look this way, and ghetto Black women do their hair like that, and poor Black women do their hair like that. And so I have an image for myself of the type of Black woman I am.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
then I have to try to, despite I don't have no tools, I don't know what to do, I don't have no skills, I am trying to make
As
sure
if
that
Black
I
women
fit
can't be
into
ratchet and
this
respectable.
particular mold of Black woman.
As if Black women can't be ratchet and
Right.
respectable. We could be both.
Right.
There
Like, we
is a
can't be mad.
spectrum of who we
Yeah.
are. We could be whatever we want, and we have to be the ones to decide that
Yeah.
definition of who we are, because there's no one standard of Black womanhood. We get to decide what that is. But I've talked enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
This
Have a
has
good
been
rest of
great.
your day.
Thank
Bye.
you. You too. Bye.
Oh, you guys. You guys, this is like so good. It makes me feel so good. Okay. Dualism.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I think this conversation's been great. I just wanted to add that something I find really interesting, and I think someone actually put this in the comments as well, is how much like ghetto Black women and ratchet Black women, how much of what they have done with their hair, what we have done and kind of chosen to do over time has actually become fashionable nowadays, but
Mm-hmm.
not on our bodies. So I'm thinking, like Kim Kardashian's boxer braids, or talking about like
Or
the
like
colored
Kylie's
wigs.
weaves, like Kylie, like
Yes.
colored wigs and stuff like
Yes,
that. Mm-hmm.
colored wigs have become it right now. And that is something that Black women pioneered. Same with hoops, and basically everything that is culture right now is something Black women invented. And I was cutting out. It's so fascinating that these are things that are only cool when they're not on Black bodies. And I also found it interesting how the way we grow up also affects our view of our hair, because I have actually I all these things that women have talked about, texturism, I never faced, because I had two parents that all they preach about is Black natural hair. Like, that's my mom has locks, I have had locks so many times in my life, and I didn't even know that there's so much politics about Black hair until I was surrounded by white people, until I became an adult. and I started learning about the politics of weaves and all of that. So it's interesting how the way we are raised and also the culture around us kind of changes our views of ourselves. It's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, and also this reminded me of something else. One of the reasons why I have wanted to tackle this and work through it is because I recognize that I love my nieces more than anything in the world. Anybody who watches me knows that. I spend a lot of time with them. I've talked to them twice today. But I understand that I can't just tell them, love your hair, you're perfect, everything is great, that I have to model that. And so, you know, I could be paying lip service to black hair is great and kinky and coily is great and perfect. But if they see me struggling, covering my hair up all the time, talking shit about my hair, saying how horrible it is and how much I hate it, they're not going to get it.
Absolutely.
And so I do feel a responsibility. And I think that I'm so glad that you said this, because I know it's possible to cultivate in young black girls a genuine love and appreciation for their natural features, but it ain't gonna come if I'm sitting here trying to pretend like everything is cool, but only wearing straight wigs all the time.
And I think too, it's really important to think that no matter how confident you are personally, like society is such a drug, and the influence is external to us. We have to be aware that even the most confident person, for example, me, I'm currently a medical student, and before I got my like twists in, and I'm like on my third lock journey now, I would only wear braids, and I started considering getting wigs, because so many of the people around me I saw had straight hair. And I started wondering, well, what would the medical professionals think of a medical student or a doctor that shows up with locks? And I'm about to get a nose ring soon, like once this whole bullshit's over. And I was like, what will happen if I walk in and I'm this black girl and I have dreadlocks and I have a nose ring? Like, they already don't take me seriously. And I had this conversation with my mom, and my mom was like, well, you said it, they don't take you seriously either way, so you might as well, do what you want to do. And I found that very interesting, because I've never had that struggle before I came into this white institution where I have all these questions about my credibility. So it's also interesting how political our hair is. No one has to tell us anything, but we feel the politics. You don't have to tell me, but I know.
Yeah, totally. Whew, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Oh, goodness, you guys.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Hi. I'm actually staying with my boyfriend and his Japanese/Japanese American family. And for a while I didn't have braids. I just did them a couple days ago. But until then I had my natural hair and I was wearing twists. And I had a few conversations with the family about my hair. The kids would ask, why is your hair in twists? Like, why does your hair look shorter than normal? And when I would wear my bonnet, what's that hat on your head? Just really strange conversations. And I didn't know exactly how to approach it, because I had this fear of saying well, I wear extensions because I didn't want them to think that I can't grow my hair, and explaining that I wear a bonnet to protect my hair because if I don't, it'll dry out, and trying to explain my hair strands and how they're different from their hair strands. And when I bought it online. And I've been thinking a lot about what is essential to purchase online, because, you don't want to just flood the system online with unnecessary purchases, have people come when they don't need to come, because you want to minimize contact. But for me, it felt essential because I didn't want to be around them without braids or my hair being done. So this has been a really interesting time for me to interact with them and my boyfriend, because my hair's always done,
Yeah.
That's it's been really interesting, and a lot of self-acceptance and self-love. Just wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Well, maybe it's not okay, but I do feel like it's natural and normal to feel your best when your hair is done. When it's done, I guess we have to question. Well, that was it. I know it cut off mid-sentence, but I'm really, really bad at keeping up with the time, and Instagram cuts you off after an hour. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. Thank you to the patrons. Thank you to the members. They usually get these IG lives. I don't usually share them publicly. I appreciate your support enormously. I think that's all I have to say. Thank y'all for being brilliant. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you guys for being so open. Like, this is an enormous privilege. I'll see you next time. Bye.